Hello and welcome to this week's Curator's Corner. I'm Adriana Dunn and I'm the museum curator at the West Tennessee Delta Heritage Center. I decided to switch things up a little bit this week. I'm going to be giving you a demonstration of the daily activities and the routine that I do within the museum every day. So we'll be talking today about the handling of objects and what I might do in order to clean an object within the museum. So first, by definition, a curator is a museum professional that oversees the care and maintenance of collections within the museum, as well as organizing exhibitions that are put on display within the museum. So in order to make sure that the objects that we have in the museum are kept to an optimal environmental condition, we need to regulate that, and I do so by installing these within the museum. So this is a thermometer / hygrometer. It is a device that measures the temperature and the humidity within the air. Now that's very important to maintain a steady temperature and humidity because you want your objects to reside in a good, not too warm, not too hot environment, as well as not too damp, but also not too dry. So the temperature I like to keep is between 65 and 70 degrees Fahrenheit, and I like the objects as well to maintain the environment to maintain between 45 and 55% humidity. So if objects don't are not in that kind of environment, they have the potential of getting damaged over time. So if something is kept in an environment that is too humid, it may, the particles or the chemical components expand with a lot of moisture in the air, and they eventually crack. If it is too cold, for example, with the wood object that I have in front of me, the object or the wood become very brittle, and they also could crack, or they start to, they just become very brittle, and it doesn't maintain its strength, essentially. So now I'm going to talk about handling objects. So when we are handling objects, I have my little table here. It's very, very sturdy. I have a protective cover on here, which is a cotton linen based cover. So it protects the overall state of being of the object. It doesn't have any acidic components within it, so that's good. And then underneath me, I have a nice little plush styrofoam piece here. So that's keeping a soft protective layer between the hard surface of the table and the object. So if I'm placing the object down, it's not going to break or have any potential of being damaged. So I have two types of protective hand materials here. I have cotton and I have nitrile. So cotton is great. It is a very, very soft type of glove. I usually use these with archival objects. So if I have old books or pamphlets or such, I'm using cotton. The most universally accepted type of glove is a nitrile glove. It has no components that are going to damage the object, and you can use them on a wide variety of the materials of objects. So you can use them for metal objects, ceramic, wood that you see in front of here, plastic. So these are great to have and great to use if you're accessioning or bringing in a collection that's going to be permanently put into the museum, or anything on loan, and you have a bunch of different types of objects, you're going to be wearing nitrile. So I'm going to put on the nitrile gloves. Before I do that though, let me explain how you would like to be as a curator or a collections manager. So I do not have any bracelets on. I do have my wedding band on, but I have the gemstones turned in. That's so if you are handling an object and you accidentally hit it, you are not going, or you have the potential of damaging an object if you do that, if you have a heavy ring on. These are very, very soft and they have a smooth surface, and there's no real potential of hitting it and damaging the object on accident. So I'm going to put these gloves on. So it's very important also to wash your hands before you're handling an object. Even if you have gloves on, you do have a buildup of natural oils on your hands that are extremely detrimental towards objects. So it's really important to make sure you have clean hands. I also have my hair tied back. It seems a little bit trivial and a little over the top of extra precaution, but I like to remove any sort of distraction in front of me when I'm handling an object because I want the object to be my primary focus. So I have my hair tied back. I don't have any sort of extra jewelry on. I don't have a necklace, and I am very focused on my object in front of me. So I'm going to very gently pick up the object. So I'm going to start by tilting it over and putting my hand right underneath. And now that I've got grip on one side, I'm going to do it to the other. So this is a turkey call. It is the materials that made the turkey call it was carved from are wood that is found around the Hatchie, and it is within our Hatchie museum collection. So, what we have here is we're just going to start looking around, just making note of what we see. I don't see any evidence of damage to the object so far. It's not apparent. I also do have a few metal components to this, so good call on the nitrile gloves because you're not damaging metal as well. So I'm going to open the turkey call. So notice how I have a handle on here that does swivel back and forth. I'm not picking it up by the handle. It's very important not to do that because you have a chance of, if you pick it up especially quickly, most likely you're gonna damage that. So I'm swiveling it open. Here are the interior components. I'm going to put that there very gently. Here are the interior components of the turkey call. So, and it is removable. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it back down. There we go, very gently. And I say that there's no timing in collections management, especially when you're handling objects. The slower you are, the better. So that's why I am going very slowly. So I'm going to remove this part right here, set that down. It's hard to see, and I am upside down, but it says the last call, which I think is quite clever. With objects like this, what I'd like to do if I am cleaning it is I would like to dust it. The way I do that, very simply, is with a cotton swab. Cotton swabs are great. They are soft tipped and easy to maneuver with your hand. So I'm just going to go in on the inside and do a very quick clean. Awesome. And I'm being very gentle as I do that. So that's all. That's a quick example of what I do. I spend more time, obviously, but just to show as an example here. Now, one thing I'd notice is that there is a white patina around the edges. It might be hard to see, but there is a white patina around the edge of the turkey call. And also, if you turn this over very gently, it's on the back of the top of the turkey call. Now, it's very important to make note of these things. So when you're first bringing an object into a collection, that was something that you would want to take note of. If you're doing things too quickly and you're not paying careful attention, you may think that that's dust buildup and say, oh, that needs to be clean. Let me take a cotton swab and clean that off. That's a very terrible thing to do to an object. It was purposely put on by the artist, and that's something that we would like to preserve. So the original integrity of objects is very important in any sort of collections role in a museum as a professional to maintain. So we would want to leave that alone. So we've made note of it. If you were bringing it into the museum, you would want to make note that that is something that was purposely put. Do not do anything with it. Leave it as it is. So now that's done. And I would put this guy back in his original home, and that would be it and make a note of it today on July 2020 that I have cleaned the object, and we are good to go with that. So that's pretty much it. I will be doing more videos on the role of a curator and different assignments and jobs that I do within the museum. Thank you so much for watching this week's Museum Curator's Corner, and we look forward to seeing you next week.